Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, host of the Pete Kane Podcast Show and building thriving communities with the support and help of being a certified high performance coach from the High Performance Institute, founded by Brendon Burchard, who wrote the book High Performance Habits. There's only 5 habits, but they're the most important habits that you're going to need to be a high performance person. There's many gold nuggets in a book, but I want to help open the book up and give you the 5 habits and give you 3 points on each habit, encouraging you to start the journey. Start the journey of being a high performance person, having a high performance mindset, having high performance habits, creating high performance goals, grow in your vision, grow in your future self. All right, let's begin. First, get the book. Get the book. Get the book. And let's start with number 1, seeking clarity. Seeking clarity. What do we mean by that? Define your identity. I had a chance to define my identity over 3 years ago when I found myself laying in a bed, not moving, having suffered a stroke, pretty severe one, took out my left side, and I had 49 days of no movement, of learning to speak, to eat, to go to the bathroom, to shower, to walk. All these things, learning over again, resetting. But the beauty of it was self-awareness. The beauty of it was slowing down to think. Now I think, I journal, I plan, I implement. That is my habit each day. I've never journaled that much in my life until the last 3 years. Now I have so many journals, I journaled when I was in dark places because, hey, you gotta feel better, seek gratitude, and I don't have any problem with that. But when you're in the middle of the storm, you have to honor that struggle. Honor that God's teaching you something you're not aware of. But we always grow from our tragedy. Always. Unless we decide to let it own us. Then we wither. So the choice is yours. Grow through your storms, grow through your tragedies, grow, and you can, because the magic is in you and anything's possible. But you have to make that choice. So defining your identity, that self-awareness, where are you? Where do you want to go? What are you willing to do to get on that journey? How much are you willing to invest in yourself? I find as a high performance coach, when people say, I can't do it, they're just not ready. They're not ready to invest in themselves. You will always be the best investment you can ever make in your life. A TV's not going to do it. A car's not going to do it. A house is not going to do it. Things don't do it. Invest in you. Seek that investment in you. And that's what I did. And now I'm so glad I did it because I had no fear. Legitimately did fear. I had survived. And I said, wow. When Anya said to me, I was about maybe 20 days into my journey. And we had gotten to know each other through the Ukrainian war. She was from Ukraine and her family was going through a mess, trying to get out, trying to stay in, all those kind of things. And we would pray and we would talk. And she told me one thing. Well, a couple things, but one thing. She said, do you know the stroke you had I said, yes. Can I share something personal with you? I said, sure. I'm not going anywhere. So she said, most don't survive. And if they do survive, they're a lot worse. And I'm sitting here with half a body. Really, when you have half a body, it affects the other side too. And it's called plumbing. It doesn't work when half of the plumbing doesn't work. So, and she said this, little angel was looking out for you. And I kind of took that in and started to reflect on that. When God gives you a second chance, it's a second chance. It's a chance to reset. It's a chance to make a great impact. It's a chance to live your life differently, to live your life with gratitude, to live your life with kindness, to live your life with impact. And when you do that, you just shift your whole mindset. So having that time to self-aware is so, so important. That's why we offer a strategy session, a clarity session for people, because when you can slow down and think and not react, which most of us do, and I did for years, you discover yourself. You discover through that self-awareness a life of growing, personal development, making an impact. That's why I became a performance coach. That's why I invested in Growth Day. That's why I kept seeking to get better, hiring a high performance coach. Not only one, not only two, not only three, four. Three different individuals in 4 sessions. Every single time I grew. Every single time I went to the next level. That's the possibilities of that transition time. Are you going to figure it all out in 12 weeks? No. But your mindset's going to change if you allow it. You're going to have a different vision of yourself and your future. Because if you intentionally, here, I can't read, set intentions for interactions, set intentional things. We all tend to go reaction, check our email, not have a clear purpose for our day. And purpose is not this big vision statement. Purpose is showing up intentionally for a conversation, for a meeting, for anything you do. Show up with intention of purpose. And when you do that, your mindset is absolutely changed. And that's what when you're seeking clarity, it's that purpose. What's the purpose for that meeting? Do you want to do what we call these one-on-ones that my friends at B and I do for an hour? They drive, they go, they waste a lot of valuable time because they're thinking locally. No, excuse me, they're acting locally, but the whole world changed. The whole world changed to global. And you're missing a valuable piece of the future because time is your greatest asset. Time is something that you better treasure it because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow, and nobody gets out of life alive, this life. So if you just think you have all the time in the world, let me give you a little bit of encouragement. You don't. It could end today. And if it does, what are you going to tell yourself? Did you seek to make an impact? Did you seek to stretch yourself, to grow, to be a person of impact, to when at the end of your life you can say, I gave it my all. I did everything with what I had, with what God gave me. If you can say that and you can have that peace, then your life mattered. If you say, man, I worked my butt off and I missed so many things, but I got all these toys. I got all this status. I got all this material things. But did you get what filled your heart? Did you make that impact that's possible? That's what you have to ask yourself. So focus on what matters most, which is the meeting, the time you have with people. Hug your loved ones, spend time with them, and do it intentionally. Be 100% into what you're doing. Have that purpose instead of looking at an iPhone and being distracted because you're always trying to see what else is going on. Be intentional about being on purpose. Have that clarity. When you do, you will, 1, start to think. 2, you'll start to journal. 3, you'll start to plan your life differently. And 4, you're going to implement and you're going to create the most amazing life for yourself. But it starts with seeking clarity. Okay. Energy. Generate energy. Our energy is generated. We generate energy. We don't just have energy. We generate it. So your physical energy requires you to focus on the most valuable asset you have. You have a temple. Take care of it. And spend time physically generating that energy. I go to physical therapy 3 to 4 hours a week, and it's intense. I go to LA Fitness 4 days a week, and it's intense because I am protecting, generating my physical energy. Now, that is about a foot higher than 6 months ago. Because nobody would ever know because you walk, people couldn't observe, couldn't see, don't care, really. I mean, everybody's got their life. They don't care about you. You think they do, but they don't. They got all 12 to 60,000 thoughts go through our head every day. Do you think they're thinking about you? So do you care what they think? Shouldn't, because they're not. So physical energy, number 1, generated. Mental energy. I am shocked at how many times we take a shower, we work on our physical cleanliness, but we forget about this. We forget about our mental energy. We don't read a book. We don't put in that personal development. And I've had the pleasure of being a part of Brendon Burchard's Growth Day. That's how I became a certified high performance coach. That's how I sharpened my mental energy, my mental part of what I do it every single day. Ever since I signed up, every single day, I listen to the best coach me. I do the 5 to Thrive. There's a related video besides Brendon's video. If you could have him coach you, 1, you better have $1 million. So that may not be possible for you, but you do have $50 to invest in yourself. And you can even try it for 7 days. See what somebody of the level of Brendon Burchard and the community of Growth Day can do for your mental energy. I mean, it's crazy good. But if you're not bathing in mental energy, mental personal development, you're working on this, it's a muscle. It's a muscle. And if you don't work on a muscle, when I was in Shepherd and I looked at my left arm, I don't know, a few days after, I went, holy mackerel, I lost everything. It had atrophied in like that. And it showed me that if you don't work that muscle, it's going to go down. So if you're not working on your strength, if you're not working on your mental energy, you're not feeding your brain through a systematic daily process of 5 to Thrive. You have Brendon talking to you. You have a related trainer, coach. All these 4 out of 5 are top trainers in the world are part of this. So you get their perspective. You're learning from others. And if you're not learning from others, you're missing out, because there's plenty of knowledge, plenty of people applying it. Just having knowledge, you got to keep doing it every day. You got to invest in yourself. You got to put time in. Take your shower of personal development every day. Plan, journal, think, and implement. Not in that order. Being dyslexic, I kind of flip them. A friend of mine just told me a joke at Rotary. It was hilarious, but that's for another day. Okay, so emotional energy. We're responsible for our emotions. And if you're not generating the emotional energy that's possible, like we're seeing in the world right now, it's crazy. They're smashing Teslas. They're yelling and screaming. Okay, that's a person that needs emotional energy, needs personal development. Because if you've got to go out there and yell and scream about a guy that's the Einstein of our day, creating the most incredible company ever, that's going to pass Apple, it's going to pass all of them. The path to being the most important company in the world is there. And we'll see, in time, we'll see the impact that one individual and his vision of the world can do to change the world. So if you're one of these people that are smashing, yelling, screaming, thinking he's evil, mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, generate the right kind of energy. Okay. Oops, let me see this. Go to pkane.me/growth day. And then I'll send you my mindset, goals, and habits course. I'll probably send you another one too. I have many courses to share with you. Many courses. Okay, let's go on to number 3. You've been waiting for courage. Courage. I think fear is over here. You can grow your fear. That can get bigger. Or you can grow your faith. And faith and courage are 2 sisters, 2 brothers, two peas in a pod. Courage comes with speaking up. It's a decision that you make. I'm afraid that what people will say about me. Or do you speak up? Because you speak up once, it gets a little bit better. You speak up twice, you get a little bit more courageous. You speak up 3 times. Finally, you're bold enough to act daily. You act boldly, and your courage muscle begins to grow. And when courage grows, you grow. Because turning fear into growth is what you want to do. We're only born with, I think, the fear of falling. Every other fear, we take on ourselves. So as you get older, you get more fearful, or can, unless you absolutely work on it. Work on that muscle. Work on that courage muscle. Speak up. Act boldly, daily. Turn fear into growth. There's a thing called PTSD. We all know that. And we're losing 18 veterans a day, which breaks the heart of every person that should. But here's the good news. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. Let's put there post-traumatic stress growth. Let's put purpose back in our veterans' lives. So let's put purpose back in the lives to give them a bolder future, to give them a purpose. Because if you can grow through your trauma, your tragedy, you have an opportunity to flip the script. And don't let that fear own you. Don't let that word disorder own you. You grow. Put G there. My friend Christian Dorr said, substitute G for D. Because you can wither, as Mark Little had told me, or you can grow. Choose to grow through your trauma. All right, let's go on to the next one. Increase productivity. We talk about, we only have 24 hours. That's it. 24 hours each day. How are you using it? Your time is your most precious commodity, asset. And if you approach your 24 hours with the mindset of, I've got 24 hours, how am I going to get the most out of the 24 hours? And you have a prolific quality output. Remember, output. Doesn't matter that you stay busy. I'll talk to people and I say, how's your day going? Oh man, I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger. Busy doing what? What's your output? Are you just hooked on busyness? Or are you looking at your output? Because having prolific quality output focus allows you to get more out of your day. Quality. To say, you know what? This 3 things I'm going to do today, no matter what. I'm not going to check my email. I'm not going to respond and get off track and get distracted. I'm going to do these 3 things and do them as fast as you possibly can. Because if you can eliminate distractions, you can stay focused. Distractions are part of life, but it's a skill. If you wake up and you find yourself checking your emails, all you're doing is focusing on other people's priorities. So you immediately go to reaction mode. Reflecting and creating your life. Your life. We're born to create. Born to create, not consume. If we're watching, which many people will say 4 hours of TV, we're consuming. If we're scrolling up to 3 hours of social media, we're consuming. We're judging. We're mentally fatigued by making consumption our priority. Create your life. Create your life. When you have a larger vision of your life, you have less distractions. Because I was on a call, somebody called me, and I just told him what I wanted. And he said, okay, thank you. I didn't want to waste his time. He's not wasting my time. I don't even know I didn't obviously know what I was signing up for, a 15-minute, what they call qualifying call, trying to sell you something. But that's, hey, look, if you're not pitching your company, nobody's going to pitch it for you. You got to pitch it. That's a story for another time. Batch your tasks. Batch your calendar. Ambition sucks. Ambition sucks without a calendar. If it's not scheduled, it ain't happening. So your calendar is so critical to how you make decisions each day. And when you batch your time, you get in a flow, you get momentum. And when you can do that, you're increasing your productivity. There's no such thing as multitasking. That's a myth. Let me have a little drink here. This is my son-in-law's company. Let me give him a little advertising. Here, US LBM. I always get those initials. Yes, that's my sister and my brother-in-law. Shall be staying in Richmond, going to my 50th high school reunion. 50. Time flies. If you're not creating your life, it's going to fly faster, much faster. So create your life, batch your tasks, eliminate distractions, and focus on output. Be prolific at your quality output. I have a planner. It's by Brendon Burchard. If you saw my planning, you would say, whoa, that's nuts. You must be busy. No, I am, but I'm busy on output. I'm eliminating distractions. I'm batching my tasks. And man, you have so much peace. It's kind of like I was telling somebody the other day, when Tom Brady does his comeback or did his comeback, the game slowed down. He picked apart every defense and he just went down the field. Now he picked apart the Falcons in the Super Bowl, not something we thought. We actually thought we had it in the bag, 28-3, I think, and lose the game. She still is like a painful thing. But here's the good thing of that for the other team, not us. He knew what he needed to do. He had a plan and he executed on his plan. And the game slowed down. He wasn't concerned. He knew he had the time to execute, to implement. And the quality of his output, he eliminated distractions. He batched his time because he had one goal: move down the field and score. That's it. It wasn't like, I'm going to pad my stats. Nope. Yeah, it helped. He did. He padded wins. He padded Super Bowl wins because the game slowed down because he had a plan. He knew what he was doing. He was prolific in his output. He eliminated distractions because the game slowed down. He batched his like underneath. If I saw him throw one pass underneath, I saw him throw 50, 100, 1,000. He wasn't interested in going for the Hail Mary pass. He just strategically cut that defense apart, and he would march down the field, and the game was slow for him. So the last is develop influence. Building trust. Building trust. I wrote a book, Reputation Matters. Your reputation matters. Online, you're building trust. That's why we're so proficient in key person of influence, because if I meet you, I'm going to search you. And if you search me, you're going to see 550 Google reviews. You're going to see a lot of content out there, and we're just starting. But you have a chance to get to know me online. I get a chance to build trust with you by getting to know me. We talk about the 7-11-4. 7 hours. People have to consume 7 hours of you to build the trust. Because if they build the trust, they'll keep going. 11 buying signal is them saying, I'm interested in knowing more, but you got to take them on that path. You got to take them through a journey of getting to know you, like you, and trust you digitally. This is critical that people understand that we're a global business now. Everything is global and it's digital. People can search me. They can search you. What do they see? Can you give them the ability to build trust with you by creating content, a podcast, a webinar, a book? That's building trust. And you have to put yourself out there online. Understanding others' needs gives them the ability to raise their hand and say, I'm interested in knowing more. Because if you know your ideal client, you know your ideal prospect, and everything you do, you speak to that, and you're able to move them on a journey with you, you capture buying signals. And when you do that, you're understanding their needs. And you have to be bold. You know, I've had so many people turn me down for podcasts. A lot. More than most. More than do. Why? Well, there's a couple reasons. Fear. Fear of putting yourself out there. Fear of getting people to know you. That's just, you have to get over that. That's a mindset shift. I asked this girl that we do, I'm up at the high school here teaching, and I won't tell you what, because then it'll expose the person, and I don't want to do that. But here's what I'm always geared into. That's not for me. Oh, you don't want people to get to know you, trust you, and do business with you? Yeah, but I don't want to put myself out there. Oh, okay. You're afraid. You've let fear own you. You've labeled that activity as fearful, and you don't want to do it. And if you allow fear to own you, you won't be bold. What's the worst that could happen? People could get to know you. That's what the best is, but that's all. I mean, I'm not 60 Minutes trying to change the narrative like they did. They always do. Like, let's put this in front of this and change the whole way people perceive it. I love it because the traditional media is being exposed, and they can't do that anymore. There's too much information out there. Too many people that are transparent. Too many people doing podcasts. Too many people are getting their news from other sources. So you can't control. CBS, you can't control. I think it was, who was that guy? Some guy resigned and he got on there. Oh man, it was laughable because his mindset. He thinks he's bringing the truth. Really, they manipulated the truth, and they did it before the election. They know they did it, but they thought, hey, we want the outcome for us. We want people to see it our way. That's gone. That's gone. Be bold. Be transparent. Be truthful. Build that trust. Understand the needs of people. Take them on a journey with you. That's possible. Go on your journey. Now, if you want to go to petekane.me, you can have a strategy session with us. You can be on our podcast because I want to give you a gift. It's the gift that will keep on giving. Our ecosystem, our masterclass. This is the steps for you to grow mentally, physically, and everything in your life. That's our ecosystem. It's free for you because you waited till the end and you didn't even know you were going to get a gift, but you are. So go to petekane.me/masterclass. Enjoy it. If you want to invest in yourself today, sign up for Growth Day at petekane.me/growth day. And if you do, send us a support ticket. I'll send you one gift and maybe two. If you really are nice, I'll send you two gifts. Two incredible gifts. The second gift is worth $300. And the first gift worth $97. So invest in yourself. Invest in you becoming the best. Invest in you being a high performance person. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. If you want to connect with us, go to pkane.me/connect, and you can connect with us. If you want to activate your future self, go to pkane.me/start. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Make that first step an investment in you. Make that first step intentional in getting this right and going on a journey to get to your future self. You don't want to have to go through a stroke like I did to have that 49 days to think. Start thinking today. What do you want from your life? What are you willing to invest time-wise? There's a lot of free things out there. We give away a lot, but we also want you to invest in yourself. I'm Pete Kane. Be bold, make a difference, and have fun.